Hey guys, welcome back to Shoney Small Engines. Just picked up this Troy-Bilt TB270. Got the gcv160 Honda engine on it. Very well made engine. I like to save these as much as I can. Actually, the machine's in pretty nice shape, so I'll try to save the machine as well. But it came in as a trade-in. Guy can't get it to start. He tried a couple things, didn't really work for him, so he just gave up on it. So I'm gonna see if I can diagnose it, see if I can save this engine, and maybe save the mower. So first and foremost, let's just make sure it has spark and compression. We're going to do that by getting this air filter off and get some fuel in there and see if we can get it to start. All right, the gas smells pretty good. The guy said he was using it, shut off mid-mow, and just couldn't get it to start again. So let's do this. Let's pull this off real quick and see if we can get this to start. So I'll show you real quick that it doesn't start. Sometimes I think maybe like the auto choke is a problem, but I can see in here that the choke is closed, so I don't think the auto choke is the problem. So I'm going to get a little bit of fresh gas in here and try it again. No, can't get it to fire, so that tells me it's probably not a fuel problem, more likely like a spark or compression problem. It does feel like it has compression, and I can see fuel coming out of the other side, which lends me to believe that it's probably more a spark problem. It's got enough compression to pull the fuel through and everything, but it's not igniting. So let's get the spark tester on here real quick. So I have a little quick inline spark tester, real cheap on Amazon. You can find a link in my description where to get these. Very convenient tool. Just got to hook it up to the spark plug wire and then to the spark plug. Now we'll keep an eye right here. This should glow red. When I pull this should glow red. And I can see right off the bat, it's not glowing red. So we have a spark issue. Chances are usually it's a coil, but I like to kind of do a quick test real fast to make sure that it is the coil. And what I got to do is take off this cover real quick to get down to the coil. So let's get this out of the way. So on top we have 3 10mm nuts. We'll get those off to get the pull cord assembly off. We'll set that out of the way. Then this should just kind of pry up just like that. And here's our coil. All right. So, like I said, these things go bad somewhat often, not all the time. But another thing it could be is, maybe the switch here or, the kill wire or something like that. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the kill wire. We'll put this back on again and see if we can get spark with the kill wire disconnected. Now, you got to be careful if you do that, because if it starts, you have no way of shutting the engine off. So what I usually do is I just block the intake, but I just do that, or pull the spark plug off, which is probably easier. So let's go ahead, let's pull this. We'll pull that kill switch off, put everything back on, and try it again. We'll hook this up again, and again we're going to keep an eye on this. We'll see if this sparks now. Again, if this would happen to start, if that was the problem, I can just disconnect these wires or block the intake and try to get this stall on its own. You can also turn the fuel off and let it run for a while and just stay away from it. Just be careful. Also, the brake is going to be on, so you want to make sure that you don't smoke your brake on here. So you don't want it to run too long with that like that. So we're gonna let this. We're gonna check for spark. I'm gonna pull it like just lightly once or twice. Like I said, hopefully it doesn't start it. But we just want to see if there's spark in here. All right, so I saw spark. It actually started to start. I quick turned it off real quick by stalling it with the engine brake. So that tells me the coil's not bad. But what it does tell me is we got an issue with the either the wire itself, maybe a grounding problem, or the switch underneath here. So we're gonna have to pull this apart. I'm probably gonna have to take the flywheel off, because that grounding wire goes down underneath and over to the side here. So we got to go back in here, and we're gonna have to take that flywheel off. I'll show you how to do that. All right, so we know we have spark without this connected. So we have to figure out, is it the wire that's a problem, or is it the switch that's a problem? So let's get this flywheel off. You usually get this off with a pretty good impact. So And we'll get this. So just got to remove that nut, get the plate out of the way. Now we got to get this flywheel off. I locked the brake out of the way. All right, so I'm going to try my 2-prong puller. If this doesn't work, I'll have to get the 3-prong out. Pretty good. That's locked in pretty good. I think that's going to work. I'm going to use the impact again. All right, we're going to see if we can pop this guy off. There it goes. It's always sketchy when you do that, but want to use your flywheel key. All right, the timing looked like it was in good shape. All right. All right, now we're going to come in, we're going to trace this wire, and actually I can see the problem. It looks like a rodent or something ate away this wire to the kill switch. So that's our problem. So this is getting grounded against the block, and that's why it's not starting with the coil attached. All right, so the wire that traces through here comes here to the switch. So we can just replace this wire, but I think it's pretty well together. I think we could just tape that up with some electrical tape and put like a little extensor over. But I'm going to pull the wire out and do a good repair on it. So let's get that guy out of there. I'm going to pull the whole wire off, and we're gonna do a better repair on that guy. Okay, but that's definitely the problem. All right, we're just going to use a little bit of standard electrical tape here, and we're going to wrap this guy up real good. There, we can put this little cover over top a little bit. All right, I think that's going to do the trick. I might even put a little bit more over top of this cover as well, just to keep that in place so it doesn't slide. All right, doesn't have to be pretty, just can't have any exposed metal, that's all. All right, and we don't look like we got any. So let's get this back to the machine and install it and see if we can get this thing to start. We just want to clean this off real quick before we go ahead and put this back on. All right, now we're going to feed this back underneath. Go under this spring here in the front. Under this clip. Okay, that one goes to the front here. Back here. Slide that in like that. And then we'll plug it in here. Okay, take some of the slack out. All right, I like that. Let's put this all back together. So when we put the flywheel key back in, I usually like to use a little bit of grease on it so it holds in place pretty well. Now when this slides on, it should stay in place. Yep, it's right in line. That's good. Okay, then we have the washer. And we put the nut on. Make sure these line up in the holes. Let's put this back on. Now we'll put this over. And then the pull cord assembly. Now we're going to leave this guy on one more time and see if this, obviously if it starts, we know it's working, but I wanted to see if that gives me a good spark again. All right, that did the trick. It actually runs really smooth, so obviously don't have to do anything with the carburetor. You can get a new air filter, clean this thing up, sharpen the blade. That was it. It just turned out to be a little mouse chewed on the wire there, and made this thing stop working. Thanks for watching, guys. If this helps you, make sure you hit that like, subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, helps me build more, make more videos, and appreciate the feedback. Hit me up in the comments if you got any questions. You can check out some other videos here. You can check out my channel there, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.